What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Welcome to the Sports JEDI Network Bronx Farmers Strike Back podcast. We're going to do a little talking about some question and answer, a little hot stove Yankee roundtable. Well, there's always a good table for one. Never hurts. Salute to everyone here. Hopefully, we have a table for two in the near future. But what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing good. It's a new year, of course, 2025 with the New York Yankees. We got Ethan is joining us. Thank you, Ethan. Salute to you. Yo, what's going on, Ethan? Out there across the pond in England. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We'll talk some Yankee baseball with a lot of news, a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors with the New York Yankees and the San Diego Padres. None other than Luis Ariz. Luis Ariz is being rumored for the Yankees in talks for in a bill that the Yankees could need. And I told you that 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I've told you so many times when he was a Marlin, the Yankees needed a third baseman. They needed a third baseman. They could who could transition to third and second base. Where Gleyber Torres, where listen, a lot of you Yankee fans like no. This is what pisses me off a lot. Sorry to sound a little negative, but this is what pissed me off with the Yankee when I proposed that deal with before the Marlins to possibly go after, and even if you had to give up a Gleyber Torres for Luis Ariz, because that's the kind of player that the Yankees needed when he was with the Marlins before he even went to the San Diego Padres, was that Luis Ariz is that contact hitter who doesn't strike out, put bat on the ball. He's won batting titles in multiple. When even before he went to the Minnesota Twins, I've told you guys when he was with the Marlins, go get Luis Ariz. He's the type of player, left-handed, that contact hitter, that slap hitter. If the ball goes in the gap in left center, he's going to be, he's got double, triples, running course. But everyone, of course, no. Everyone's a smart ass when it comes to trades and making moves. Now everyone's hot and heavy for Luis Ariz now in 2025. That's no problem. That's no issue. Let's get him on the Yankees, Yankee fans. This is it. Let's go get him. We're all in. It looks like the New York Yankees are putting all their chips in the bag. They're going all in to try to get make the team better. Return to the World Series, and not only that, return to the American League Championship Series and go back to back and become and repeat as American League champions and take that next step as becoming world champions. I got some questions here, and I would love you guys to participate. I wanted to have this discussion with Chris. I think Chris is running a little late. He'll join us shortly here. And I asked this question in one word: what is your biggest hope for the New York Yankees in 2025? I just don't want them to take a step back. I kind of want them to continue to build on the World Series appearance and continue to build with not giving up too much of the future of the New York Yankees farm system. Continue to grow, and right now they showed us that they're building pitching. The Yankees right now have a really strong pitching. They're basing everything with pitching, and you see the starting five, you see their bullpen, you see the arms coming out for the New York Yankees again. But with I said it before on another stream, I'll re-say it again. When it comes to the Yankees with the pitching, you also have to be strong defensively. You got to have a strong defense up the middle, and you have to make sure that you could catch the baseball. Now, they did a good job. Bellinger, center field, excellent. Hope has won a Gold Glove before. Now, the question is, if you get Luis Ariz, does he play third and you move Chisholm as his natural position second base? You're making the infield stronger. Also, you've got Goldschmidt, who's a former MVP candidate, possibly a Gold Glover at first base. You have a solid infield, of course, with Austin Wells behind the plate. Then you have some backup catcher, whoever that is. No. We made the trade. I know. When is Padres versus the Yankees? I got to look at the schedule, Ethan. I don't have the New York Yankees 2025 schedule. I wasn't anticipating. I'll get that for you if Chris joins me. That I have a minute to veer and search while he gives his take. I could find that. But if I'm flying solo currently right now, which it looks like, then I won't be able to get and open up that browser. I want to keep the show flowing and moving, but I'll definitely have that for you. Or if anyone in the chat who's could easily Google it, look it up, and let us know when the Yankees take on the Padres, and let Ethan know so when that matchup is there. But it'll be interesting to see for Luis Ariz if he becomes a New York Yankee, if they make the move, who is going the other way? Because look, One thing with the Padres, they also want pitching. Yankees they're in a position of strength in starting pitching, but you don't count your eggs. You don't just because you have a plethora or a surplus doesn't mean you go out there trading and dispensing your pitching staff because you have extra. Remember, this is the Yankees. The baseball season is a long season, 162 games where guys comes out a little injured, so forth. I got Chris joining me. Good, good. He's on with me. Chris, let me bring you on 1 second, friend. And there we go. Chris the Flash is here with me. What's up, Chris? How are
Yeah,
you? Happy New Year.
can you hear me?
Excellent, loud and clear.
Okay. My bad, y'all. I had technical difficulties. I was about to text Kev what was going on, but I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're good. You're good. So we got Chris joining us here. We were talking about first before we even get to this question that I have posted in front of us. I was talking about the possibility and the rumors are out there. Luis Arise, New York Yankees have engaged in some talks and some conversation for Luis Arise. What's your thoughts there? Because you know me, I've told it since if you've been watching along with me and doing Yankee streams for about 3 years, give or take, and I told you when he was a Marlin, get Luis Arise, and everyone's like, nah, 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 nah. And now he's here, or he's about to be a Yankee. What's your thought?
Well, people complaining about their defense and stuff like that, but it's like, can he be any worse than Gleyber Torres? I mean,
He's not
I'm
a
not
bad
gonna lie.
defensive player.
No, it's always an excuse. But look, we need a leadoff hitter. He's like the perfect leadoff hitter, and he's still young. So I don't know. Everybody keeps complaining about his defense, but it's like, can he get any worse than Glaber?
Here's another one, and I know they play different positions. Can he be any worse than Soto?
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's.
facts.
I don't. I'm not saying he's Juan Soto. I'm not saying that. No, no, no.
No.
I'm not saying that at all. But did you see the resume? Did you see the way he played defense out there in right field? Wasn't that great? Yeah, he made up for it with his bat. He carried the team into the World Series. I get that. I get that. Luis Arise, he's not gonna arouse you with the home run power. But he is going to get on base. He's going to slap the ball, and he's going to move, and he's going to spray. He's going to put the ball on contact. You put him in the leadoff spot, and remember that makes now your number 9, your number 7, 7, 8, and 9 hitters very, very, very important. If they get on base, you could start. Most of the time you put a little bit of speed on the bottom of the lineup there. You could easily even push Volpe down in the bottom of the lineup where he could steal, hit and run situation. Now you guys go from first to third, put pressure on the opposing team's defense on their toes, and now you're manufacturing runs. And guess what? Now you're also um, setting up tables for Judge, and company, Stanton, Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger. So, Chris, your thoughts there? That's why I like the move and the tease of a Luis Ariz. I've been liking him for years. Hopefully, it happens.
Yeah. Look, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you and some other people were like the first ones to pick up on him. Like you said, since the Marlins. I mean, we thought we was gonna get him with the Glaber deal. Like we was gonna trade Glaber for him, but that didn't happen. We got somebody else, and it's like I mean, like I said, like I look at it this way. Now Judge goes back to his natural position at right field, so that's actually an upgrade over Soto. And then Bellinger, yeah, I think he's an upgrade over Judge in center field. So it's like, I mean, can you ask for any more? Hopefully Jason get his shot and left, or if they switch Jason and Cody from center to left. I don't care as long as they give Jason a chance. I feel like that's not fair to him. You gave Volpe a chance. Now you got to give him a chance.
I agree with you, especially the. I know people say now the narrative is coming out that Jason Dominguez is not a great outfielder. Now he's supposedly not the guy. This and this. That. They're setting. I don't know if they're setting the bar or the expectations low on a Jason Dominguez, so we don't put him on a high pedestal to think that he's or expectations like the Fraziers and the future prospects as before, Volpe. Maybe that's, but I think that Jason Dominguez should get a shot in either to win center field or left field job. I think they should go with him there, give him the opportunity. It also helps the cause. You can't get too much money tied in to so many players, and especially when you're already close to 300 You're at 285, and I'm not mistaken, for the New Yankees with their payroll. You don't want, you don't want how to impede on adding to the team in the trading deadline and so forth when they're going to need it, and also the beyond. So I kind of like this opportunity to let Dominguez play. If you get a rise, he's gonna not going to be that he's not too much. I'll find out his number in a second, how much he makes. We got Steven. Salute Steven. He says, why not Bregman? Bregman, if you're going to get an arise over Bregman, I know Bregman is a better defender. And again, with the pitching staff that we have, and I don't want to sound like a contradiction, with the pitching staff we have, you need good gloves because they're going to be, especially with Max Fried, who's going to make you put the ball in play. You need that strong defense. Bregman kind of makes sense, but I'd rather go Luis Suarez. They're kind of almost the same hitter, in a different way because Bregman doesn't strike out much. He's a contact hitter, but he's going to lose a lot of home runs at Yankee Stadium with that left center field, Death Valley, where when you have a Luis Suarez, he's a spray hitter, contact hitter who's going to slap the ball and go and make contact, not strike out either. And especially if he gets some balls in the gap left center field, they're going to be now extra bases. And if he happens to get one and pull it and it goes over the fence, he hits a home run, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go like perfect world and say who we really need, but it's not gonna happen. I think we need Donovan. If you want to put Chisholm back at his natural position at second and have Donovan at third, then yeah, that'd be the perfect thing because you don't have to worry about him when it comes to playing defense or hitting because he could be the leadoff hitter too. But I don't think the Cardinals are going to willing to trade him. So if I got to choose Bregman and Luis, I'm choosing Luis because I feel like if we try to sign Bregman, they're going to use that excuse why we can't get Kyle Tucker or Vladdy for next year.
Yeah,
So
I kind of want Kyle Tucker.
yeah,
If you're looking at down the road, what makes sense for the New York Yankees, you're going to, sooner or later, a couple years, it's 1 year less of Giancarlo Stanton on this team. So next year coming up, and you kind of build for now with some future because we know Judge and Cole are both in their prime. And you want to get a Kyle Tucker who's going to be 27, I believe, next year, 28. You coming into and you want to bring him on because he's the guy that could defend him, and that's for years to come. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're putting the cart behind. We're putting the horse before the cart. Whatever, vice versa. 13.7 million dollars is his contract for Luis Ariz. I don't know why the Yankees, why they weren't going after. That's not a big money for Luis Ariz. You bring him in here, he's gonna work more. He's gonna pay. He's gonna be less than Bregman. And this guy won batting titles in both leagues, so he could hit in both leagues. It's not that he went to one league and the other league figured him out. This guy won in both leagues with Minnesota. He played in the American League. He played in the National League. I've been telling you since the Marlin days. Bring him in here. He makes a ton of sense. And also, you bring some team speed with him and Chisholm, former teammates. Volpe, Bregman. You got some. I mean, not Bregman. Bellinger. You got some speed. Dominguez. You want to get younger and some speed. And I agree to a extent. I think Judge does play a good center field, Chris. The only thing is it wears down on him in his batting and physical. Remember, this guy's 6'7", playing center field and covering all that ground. Kind of wears on you physically, and we saw that in the World Series.
yeah, because I don't want to speak on nobody's channel on here, but when I was on somebody's channel, we was discussing that, and like everybody, not him, but specifically, but everybody in the chat was trying to blame Judge. But I'm like, if y'all watch that whole game, Judge actually gave us the lead back, so that kind of active what he did in the field. But nobody wants to think about, oh, we lost, they
Right,
came back, but it's like no, Judge actually hit a double and scored a run for us to get the lead back. We just couldn't hold it.
right. And of course, and that's one game doesn't signify what Judge
No,
career or season was because he dropped the ball in the outfield. Yes, it was the most important game 5, but doesn't guarantee you they were going to win that series even if you would have caught that ball. They might won that game, so you prolonged losing the World Series by one game. They would have went to Los Angeles and they would have, I mean, it is what it is. It's like saying, it's like being the tallest dwarf in the
yeah,
circus. We have no lefty in the pen. The Yankees always find a left-handed pitcher back. They look like they're going to get back a couple. The bullpen is the last thing I'm gonna, and which leads to another question here. Here's another question that I want. Good thing that you gave me that one because we were going through sequence there. But of course, I have some questions here. Here we go. So we're gonna skip to this one. What is the main focus for the Yankees free agents left to be? You got to pick one for now. Would you want them to, in both your pitching staff? Would it be starting pitching or bullpen? Some more hitting in the lineup. Both get the farm system. Trading maybe a Marcus Stroman for some draft picks to or some minor leaguers to try to get something at least to see what you got, or you want to build team chemistry. When I mean team chemistry, is defensive type of players or bench players. Chris, your thoughts right now? Which one would you be? Would you want the Yankees to target first? I know they, you know, he likes in the chat. Aiden wants lefty in the bullpen.
Yeah, that probably nah, we probably need a more the infielder. I feel like the infielder is more important. I mean, like you said, like our bullpen is straight. Don't get me wrong. Yes, we do need a lefty. I'm not saying we, but we need solidified infielder, either a second or third. I don't care which one. And most likely, if we get Luis, he's gonna be the second baseman. So I just feel like complete that first, because I think ain't nobody. I think if we do get a lefty, it's gonna be Tim Hill, and I don't think anybody's rushing to get Tim Hill but us. So that's just how I feel.
Right. He's coming back.
Yeah.
He's just coming. That's why I'm not worried about the lefty in the bullpen. I think Tim Hill will be returning. I still think they will put him in there. I think he's going. I think they're going to get another lefty reliever. There is a smart. Yeah, and also internal. Yeah, their internal house options are there. You say they're not good. We don't know that. Relief pitching is from a year to year basis. Sometimes you have some great years from the relievers, and sometimes they stink it up where they get DFA. So you never know. Remember, we also got some arms from the Trevino trade, and maybe they might something that they want to use as well and see what they have in spring training. And when it comes to the bullpen, I'm not going to go too crazy with that. The one thing I want to see though, and I never been a big fan of. I never been a big fan of them, but this one with Oroki Sasaki got me intrigued. I personally, and I told you this time and time. You know my stance. I'm not a big Japanese player because everyone swears they know who they are and they never seen them, and they talk up a big game. For me personally, a gut feeling tells me that Roki. No, no, for real, it's the truth.
No,
Oh, he's
I
gonna
know.
be great. They make
No,
videos, they do shorts, they do all this bullshit that they know they swear they know these Japanese players. Meanwhile, they don't even know what time the guys play on the Eastern time. So don't give me
but
that nonsense copy and pasting from everyone else that they know they scouting this Japanese player. Me personally, because when they come here, they shit the bed in Major League Baseball. But my point is, Roki Sasaki, I think he's going to be a freaking Yankee. I think for some reason he's going to be good. I don't know. I got that gut
so
feeling.
so I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I know I wanted to say this because you did go on a little rant. So I don't know if you remember this when the Yamamoto news was coming
Hmm.
out. Was I not one of the first ones to talk about Roki before everybody else has? So this is the crazy part. Now everybody's on Roki. So I'm gonna
Yes, you
say
were.
this.
You're going
I'm
to
gonna
get
say
your
this.
flowers. You're going to get your flowers. Yes.
And I'm gonna say this. Now I guess I'm gonna mention his channel because we cool with him. I didn't want to be like mean or anything. But the other Kev, not the 161 Kev, that the me and the other Kev that we
Yeah.
cool with. Um, so I even said this when he comes to the majors, he's not coming as a starter, y'all. He's coming out the bullpen because he has to work
Thank you.
his innings.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Chris. See, this is why I like collaborating with Chris with Yankee because we understand it. You know, we don't get a four like all these this great Korean first baseman. Ain't no one running to sign him. Meanwhile, 2 years ago, year ago, they had so many videos, so much clickbait about him, yada yada. No one signed him. He's not in the major league. Oh, we need him. We need him. We gotta get him. Yankees, go get him. Cashman, go do it. Come on, man. Stop with the clickbait. That's all. That's why I don't really do a lot of stuff, dude. Seriously, I can't stand that. Like, I mean, let's move on. DJ LeMahieu is not the same guy, but he could be a serviceable bat off the bench, and he could play maybe once a week. He could play, and you could have him play first, second, and third in case of an emergency. If you have him there, he could play. He's a veteran who's not going to hurt the team in the clubhouse. He's a leader. By leading by example, he's quiet. No, he's not going to be an uproar. He's not going to be a Josh Donaldson where although he behaved well with the Yankees, but with that reputation, Chris, I think if you keep a DJ LeMahieu on the team, because no one's going to take that contract, and you're not going to give somebody a good prospect to take him away from you, Chris.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. So like, what I feel about DJ is he can be a good utility person, and the key for him is
So,
he has to.
hello,
Oh, I'm good.
you're good.
Okay. So the key for
You're
him
good,
is
Chris.
okay. So like he has to stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, I'm not looking for DJ to be the machine. Like he don't have to hit 340, 350. If he can give us 280 off the bench, I'm happy. You
Right,
did your job, DJ.
right.
That's all I'm asking. And good defense.
I even go this way. I go this here. They're going to be two different numbers, totally two different numbers, guys. If I could get DJ LeMahieu to give me what Ronnie Torres used to give us before. Come in occasionally, hit off the bench when needed, get a couple, hits, play positive, and then he sits on the bench for and then come back out and continue being positive. When he's needed, he's gonna produce in a positive way, even if it's manufacturing runs, putting the ball on play, not striking out, all that stuff. I'll take it. And understand that DJ LeMahieu is not gonna run like a Ronnie Torres, who could run and like a big toe. But if he provides that kind of positivity off the bench, and when you look at it, man, he's batting almost like you said, 285, almost maybe 301, but it's on a very short sample. I sign up for it right now here. When they play him, he's productive, but you're not gonna play him too much because the more you put him out there, the more injury he can be, or the more exposed he gets. I'm more for that at his age for DJ LeMahieu. I definitely will sign up for that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
He wants Jazz back to second. Yeah, that's me perfect. That's the way I want it. I want it that way. I want them switching. I don't want. I want Jazz back at his natural position at second base because he's not a natural third baseman. Ariza played already a couple years at third base, regardless of the fact that he might be a good defender, not good defender. But to me, Jazz is more of a natural third baseman, second baseman than third, and I kind of like that there. Maybe we could agree to disagree on that one, but I personally would like to see Jazz go back to second base. But we'll see what the Yankees do. I'm all for it, whichever way they put him.
Yeah, I mean, like if we was gonna get somebody, like I said, I want somebody like Donovan to put Jazz back in second because I know Donovan can play third a little bit better than Luis. Um, that's what makes me feel like we should get a Bregman or somebody because like if everybody wants Jazz to go back to second, we're gonna need somebody to play the hot corner.
But there's some money though. Bregman's going to cost over 20, 32 million, and where you got to
Yeah,
rise at 14 million, 15 and with arbitration. I'd rather go with the 15 million and get a couple of left-handed relievers on this team. If we're going to go play, if we're going to play the money and the expense with the Yankees, because us as fans, we were like, bring this one, bring that one, bring that one. But the front office is talking about expenses and per year AVA per value for that 1 year with the luxury tax threshold tax mark that they want to stay under just about, and also leave some flexibility for the trading deadline in 2025 to add pieces if they really need it. They can see that there's a player out there with an organization they're willing to give up, and you could add them and make you go over the top at least for 2025. And they want to give that cushion for the New York Yankees to add that player. So I think that's the way they're going to operate. Let me read what Steve says, and I'll let you go here, Chris, to give you your thoughts. Biggest Yankees offensive mistake was not getting Harper. They would have won a championship with him. But we saw that. But for that 1 year, Juan Soto, I think would have done much better than any year that Harper would have had with the New York Yankees. Just the Yankees just didn't resign him. I think Soto would have gave maybe Harper might have been a little bit better defensively, and he was willing to go to first base. I get you. I agree with you on that. But the Yankees didn't see that at that time.
Yeah, that was Cashman's downfall. He was like, I don't see Harper at playing at first. I mean, I'm guessing now he's eating his words because Harper's actually a hell of a good first baseman.
But was it Harp, was it Cashman, or was it the Yankee front office budget wise that said no? We would never know that answer to that question. We would
No,
never know that. But it's good to ask that.
and then I'm trying to think what we was talking about before that. I'm trying to think, Kev. My bad, because I'm
We,
trying to think.
we were talking no
Oh, so like,
we were talking about the third base.
so yeah. I mean, like that's just like if we talking about Harper, like we should have signed one of those shortstops, and maybe we could have traded Volpe for something.
I mean, let me ask this now. Let's go to revisionist history. Let's go to a little bit of go back to revisionist history. Seeing what we've seen with Luis Castillo in Seattle. Now look, he's on the trading block. Possibly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets scoop him up or bring him in here. Would have been, and seeing what we've seen from Anthony Volpe, was that a wise move to move Volpe for Luis Castillo?
I don't know, because then it brings the question: we would have signed Carlos Rodon, and probably not. I don't know if we would have. We probably would still signed Max Fried, but then if we would have traded Volpe, then most likely it probably would have made a trade for. I mean, a signing for one of those shortstops. I would think. So I mean, see, that's the crazy part. It's like that Volpe move would have did probably so much, or that Castile move would have did so much.
It's a lot of what ifs. It's a lot, and
Yeah,
I love to do the Yankee what ifs because one of the biggest what ifs is if the Yankees would have traded Judge at that time. I believe it was Judge and Tyler Austin. I'd be wrong with the parameters of the deal to the White Sox for Chris Sale, and seeing how Chris Sale's career really was with the Red Sox. I understand he was Cy Young Award last year, but just imagine when he came here and really gave us that performance he gave the Red Sox to the Yankees. And Judge turns out to be the real Aaron Judge that he is now with the Chicago White Sox. You know how much of a linchpin the Yankee fans would have really hated Cashman. That's why sometimes we overreact when certain names get thrown out. And I get it. There's been a lot of examples where the Yankees have held on to too many guys that they rot like a piece of fruit. They're good fruit. They're good for you. They're good, but then they stay in the minor league system for too long and they get overripe. Case in point. There's so many players that we could go on with. It's just this game or the game of baseball is so hard to know when to. It's like Texas Hold'em, when to fold them or where to hold them, show them or hold them or fold, and it's hard when it comes to prospects, Chris. And that's the fun part of being a fan, because we all want them to wheel and deal, but the front office got to make these billion-dollar decisions that has to appease us to want to follow and support financially a franchise. And that's a fun part about being a fan, because we want them to make these great moves, but we're putting our hands in other people's pockets.
yeah, yeah. I agree on that.
Peraza needs to be traded. That's another one that is might turning into that piece of fruit, Aiden. A piece of fruit that had a lot of prospect. Although I always what I did you remember what I always said about Peraza?
Nah.
I said he's a quadruple A player.
Oh
He's a
yeah, yeah,
great
yeah, yeah,
minor
yeah.
leaguer. He is not a major league player, in my opinion. And look, he has a and teams are not asking for him. When they call the Yankees, they're not asking for Peraza. The Yankees have not said no, or they. It's not. I don't think he's. I don't think everybody was like Volpe, Peraza over Volpe, like Pope of Sport. And what was one other one that was just rewrite it like a lunatic in the chat. And Peraza is not a major leaguer. He's just not. His skill set is what, yeah, the potential of what he we thought he could bring would excites us, but it wasn't gonna, didn't translate like Tyler Wade. Tyler Wade was so fast as hell, He was like, my God, he's so quick. He was nifty, but didn't translate to the major league. It just didn't translate. Yeah, and I think that's Peraza. I don't think it translates. For some reason, you're muted. I can't hear you, Chris. Chris, no, your mic is out for a minute. Teams want Spencer Jones, and I want a good trade for Jones. Spencer Jones is another one. Now I hear you. I can hear you now. Maybe your battery is dying, Chris.
All right, you can hear me now.
Yes. And
Okay.
Aiden asked this good one. Teams want Spencer Jones. I want a good trade for Spencer Jones. Does Spencer Jones even make the Yankees?
See, that's another that's another person. Like if you're gonna give Dominguez a chance, and then we talking about getting Kyle Tucker, it's like, do we really need Spencer Jones? So it's like, why not trade him while
Now let me
his
ask
stock?
this. Just that's my next part that I was gonna get to you. Just because you think you're gonna get Kyle Tucker next season or you're in play doesn't mean you go out and trade Spencer Jones now. You gotta make sure you have it in your hands before you make the move. You like if they would have resigned Juan Soto, then you could try to get a package for a Jason Dominguez because you already signed Soto. He's not going anywhere, and that's kind of a redundant type of player. Although some people would say you would have had a dynamic team. But if you have Spencer Jones coming behind, you could get rid of a Dominguez or vice versa. I don't get rid of Spencer Jones yet because he's supposedly he's a center fielder who's got power. I know right now in the minor leagues he's been considered a strikeout machine. But I don't know. It could be scouts saying or diminishing his trade value or fans so he doesn't leave or I haven't seen the kid, so I haven't seen with my eyes to make an opinion and say from my perspective to say I wouldn't want to trade him or I want to keep him. I've got nothing with him right now, but from all I'm hearing from his attributes, sounds like a freaking major leaguer for his attributes. Again, I haven't seen him play. Like when I saw Peraza, I was like, I didn't. I got to see him play. And I'm not saying that I'm the greatest eye in baseball. No, 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 no. I don't put that on. No, no, no. But just my opinion because this is we're doing YouTube streaming based on our opinion.
Yeah. So like, I mean, that's just like if you look at Judge, like people keep forgetting this. Like Judge strikes out a lot too, but he also hits for average. So there's a way where you can combat the strikeouts if you keep putting the ball in play. Like Judge is not a home run hitter too. That's what people need to start understanding. He's an all around player. So yes, he might struck out like 190 times or whatever, but he's also batting in the high 300s. So it's like you can still strike out a lot. You just got to be able to put the ball in play in certain areas, in certain spots of the game.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. That's the one. The bird in the hand it means beats two in the bush. Thank you. Appreciate that, Steven. I knew I was something like that, but
Oh man,
oh
Steven's
man,
funny.
yeah. So yeah, we keep asking these questions. Yeah, Steve is great. Yeah, so we're
Well,
looking at
well,
this team here. Mhm.
I was about to say, well, I didn't really get to talk too much about the Devil Williams thing because I know you talked about it, and I haven't really been talking about baseball too much. But look, I think that was a look. We've been talking about Devin Williams for I don't know how long. They finally pulled the trigger. They didn't give up too much, which I'm happy. He look, Boone
Right.
Cashman, he's the closer. Don't Oh,
Yeah.
he's not gonna be. No, he's the closer. Luke Weaver could be the setup man. Now we got a good 1-2 punch. Now we haven't had something like this probably since what Chapman and Andrew.
Yeah. You could. Yeah. Since that. Yeah. 2015. You could say.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it produces like that because I'm telling you right now, if our starting pitching is good and our bullpen is good, it'll be a hard team to beat.
Right. When you have a good bullpen, Chris, you're showing the game up mightily. The one thing I was happy that we got Nestor Cortez. You got rid of in a stock of starting arms that we have, and we still have seven, at least seven deep. or because you Clark Schmidt, does he become the number three, number four starter, or Marcus Stroman number five? You've got if let's say we always forget about now Carlos Rodon. I mentioned it before. Now Rodon doesn't have to feel the pressure of being a number two starter, living up to his contract. Go against the other opposing team's number four starter or number three starter, and pressure's up because I think you have better stuff than a lot of Major League Baseball teams number three, number four starters. So you're gonna have an opportunity to dominate pitching wise against other teams number three, number four starters, and you go forward, so on. That ripple effect, and if guys gotta miss a start, you could always plug someone in, and that's why that Rokas Sasaki is a big one. If they bring him here, he could go to the minor league system, get acclimated, get American pitching, gripping the American baseball, and the first starter that goes down or needed, he could be called up and get part of there and become a short reliever or become a spot starter for him, and he doesn't have that pressure on him to live up to coming over from Japan and living up to if he would go to let's say the Dodgers or the Padres or an organization that needs him to come in from day one and be a major league pitcher where he could work himself up there. And I think the same thing if he goes to the Dodgers. I think that's still on the table too. He could go to the minor league system, come in when they get him ready and acclimated and fit in. I think Dodgers in New York. Yeah, I think those are the two for him going forward, or even the Mariners. I think those are the three teams that kid is going to pick.
Yeah, like I wanted to say this too. Hold up, if Cole doesn't get hurt, would never make the team. No, man, I wouldn't
It
say
might
that.
be.
I wouldn't say that. I think he would. I think it just would took a little longer because Garrett Cole's that ace. But I would say this because he did bring up Hill. So this would be my starting rotation: Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Luis Hill, Carlos Rodon, and Clark Schmidt.
Right,
That's the rotation right there.
right,
Like, I'm sorry, you're not the number three no more.
right.
So that's just how I feel. Like I'm sorry, Stroman. If we keep you, you coming out the bullpen. If we don't keep you, you're getting traded. That's just how it's gonna be.
No, that's why I think if there's a move, Stroman will be included in one of these moves for maybe a left-handed reliever that we're not seeing right now that out there for that a team might want to get rid of, and Stroman goes over there for the final year of his contract and so forth. Maybe we would pick up a prospect, or even Stroman if they let's say they do sign Rokas, they could probably make a trade where they'll drive Marcus Stroman to go for minor leaguer for triple A or double A, and the Yankees will pay maybe 60 cents on the dollar. Maybe that for him to go to another team and pitch somewhere else, while they'll take that minor league prospect, and also now you could slide him as your number six starter in case of an emergency going forward. So the Yankees could make all these type of maneuverability, or a pitcher that we're not even thinking about that can't find a home, coming off of maybe a year off of a year fully recover of a Tommy John, and bring him in here like a project, and he be in the minor league system where he's a proven commodity, and if they need him, they get lightning in a bottle. I know he signed back with the Guardians, but I'm gonna use an example like if Shane Beaver, who's coming off of Tommy John, was a free agent, and they would have signed him just to have him in the system and a part of the 40-man roster, and then he just turns it on, and late in the year he comes on. Now you add him as a spot starter, and then you got something lightning about. I can see the Yankees doing. Those are the kind of moves Cashman do under the radar that always ends up helping the New York Yankees season after season.
I'm not gonna lie, Kev, and I brought this name up too, and I think you did too. But when I heard that we trade for a Reds reliever, the first person I was thinking about, because they said he's open to be traded, was Diaz, and I was like, hold up, because I didn't hear the name yet. I said, oh shit, did the Yankees really pull that move off to get Diaz out of that bullpen for the Reds? And that's who I really want, because yes, he might not be like command might be an issue for him, but I think with Matt Blake and his expertise when it comes, he would be perfect coming out the seventh inning.
We said it before. I know you said it. You wanted to see Alexis Diaz with the Yankees. Here's the one thing I would love that too. I agree with you, but I don't think it's gonna happen because now Terry
No,
Francona has taken over that franchise,
yeah,
has taken over that team. with Terry Francona. When he goes there, he's a culture builder, a team reviver with the Guardians as well with the Phillies. But prior to that, and I think he sees Alexis Diaz. He's got a closer. He's got other players in there. O'Neal Cruz is on that team. Is it O'Neal Cruz there? No, O'Neal
No,
Cruz is in
no.
Pittsburgh.
LA,
Um,
LA,
um,
LA
and
Cruz. LA de la
Eli de
Cruz.
la Cruz. De la Cruz, yes. There's some pieces there. They're building there. You got Trevino. Now he's got a catcher there, a young catcher. Regardless of the fact they made some good moves there with Terry Francona leadership there, who knows how to make a delicious chicken salad out of chicken scraps. And I think he could do that with a cheap Cincinnati team and get them playing the right way. And I think they're not going to get. You got a closer already, established players there on the team control. I don't know if they'll move them there. I would love them to play for the Yankees, close for the Yankees. We got Devin Williams, so I don't know. I don't know if they want to make that move, Chris. But man, that's a nice one. A what if move.
No. Yeah, I was really hoping. I was like, boy, did we really trade? But then they said, nah, we traded for like what, Fernando something. So I was like, dang, man,
Fernando
I was
Cruz.
really hoping.
I got it here. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that there. There it
Oh
is. Here's
yeah.
the
Okay.
trade that they went down. Jose Trevino for Fernando Cruz and Alex Jackson.
So man, I was really hoping, Kev. I was like,
I
what?
mean,
They pulled
and
because look, the day before they even said it. Like they said Diaz is open to be traded. So I'm like, and then when this came out, I'm like, hold up, did they really pull that move off? And then when I seen Fernando Cruz, I was like, damn.
hey, we got. Don't forget, you also selling short our bullpen with
Mm-hmm.
Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Loizaga returns. You know, Loizaga has a lot of great stuff. Well, Loizaga stuff is his availability on lack of too much injury or too many nagging injuries that derails his season at times. Where you're like, damn. And when he's on a roll, something happens to him. For Loizaga is his health issue. If he's healthy for the New York Yankees, they're gonna have a really good strong bullpen. Those three right there, you could make it a 7 inning game with those three there, and of course you want to add some more pieces. Naturally, they're gonna get more pieces in the bullpen for the Yankees there. But let me ask this: I didn't get your thoughts. I didn't get your opinion. At least we didn't share it on live stream. Goldschmidt. I know he's not the first baseman that I think a lot of Yankee fans thought about, or wanted. I know Christian Walker was the better defender. Did you like it? I love it.
Well, again, I don't want to mention stream, but I did say I don't mind Paul Goldschmidt for 1 year. First of all, he got him on a cheap deal. Second of all, this is the crazy part. People not realizing this. His worst season is better than most people's better season. So it's like I feel like he's got one good year left in him, and I feel like why not take that chance? And his defense not bad neither.
It's a Gold
So I just
Glover.
want, yeah, I like people keep saying, oh, his defense. I'm telling y'all, when somebody changes teams, I feel like they get rejuvenated.
Yes, yes, yes. And of course, this is what I had last stream before I kept it here. Their current payroll went from it's $266 million with the Goldschmidt signing. So I don't think they have anything after Goldschmidt whatsoever there. So they're 266. Doesn't mean they're going to go over that threshold of 285. But again, there might be a move here and there because I think if they sign Roka Sasaki, I think it's going to be seven. The Yankees go offer. I think it's 6.5 to $7 million. The second tier of the free agency market for amateur player. The top, I believe, is 8 million, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then there's that next tier where the Yankees and the Dodgers both on leaving keel. Padres is on that top though. Padres has been a favorite for him to go, and Padres could offer him that 8 million, but he's gonna have pressure to want to go in there and be and major league ready from training camp. Right off of spring training. But here's the one thing though, he doesn't have to be their ace because they got Michael King and company there, where he could go in there and become a number 3, number 4, similar to the way the Mets started off with their acquisition when they had when Kodai Senga came over. He wasn't really their ace, but he worked his way as a Mets ace. If it makes sense. Once Verlander and Degrom was shipped and moved and so forth there, and Max and the other one, I
Max
forget
Scherzer.
his stupid name, the one that took Scherzer, him too.
Yeah. Well, look, I gotta give you credit, Kev. I mean, you talking about Kodan Singer being the ace for the Mets. Well, it was actually your dude that you liked that was actually the ace for them last year. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think he looked like the better
I,
move than
I
Carlos Rodon.
I like Manaya. I told you Manaya had that look. He just needed to get out of Oakland. He just
Hmm.
needed to get out of Oakland, man. And sometimes when you look, sometimes your environment, you and again, it's not to crap on because Northern California it might have its beautiful parts, wine company and stuff. We got our very own Canary. Shout out to Canary from the Heel of the Ring podcast that lives in Northern California and so forth. But when you're going to travel to Oakland and when you see what Oakland has become and you just the environment of all the closures and the economy and all that, it kind of wears you down a little bit. That's why I believe the Yankees in the 80s. The Bronx was. I grew up. I went to those games in the 80s. The Bronx wasn't pretty, man. You have burning brick, burning buildings. You seen garbage. You seen abandoned buildings and so forth. Those 85 Yankees, the 86 Yankees, they were hell of a 88 Yankees. They were good teams. They just didn't have enough pitching. But the morale, the stadium looked terrible. You're driving to go to work and you see that. I know you get disconnected and you go play a game and you're playing and then the stadium wasn't full. That weighs down on players' performance, morale, and enthusiasm to want to go put on the uniform, no matter if it's the NY or the Athletics. And I think Manaya just needed a change of scenery. Um, that's all it is. And some ball players just need to leave and get a change of scenery. Yes, you want to be a person to transcend and bring a winning atmosphere and culture and all that word, but sometimes it weighs on you, Chris.
No, I agree. Like, I mean, we see it all the time. Look. I mean, I can give buku examples. Justin Verlander. Look what he did from leaving from Detroit to going to Houston. Garrett Cole with Pittsburgh to Houston. CC. I remember CC was having to fight every in Cleveland. He went to Milwaukee. He had Milwaukee carried on his back. So people don't realize like that does like all that weight off your shoulders as a relief.
And that's why I thought Mania was going to be good in New York, just to get out there, no matter which one, with the Yankees or the Mets. I said, he's going to come. He's going to be good. He's going to get invested. And look, he made good contract. Luis Severino just moving across to a different fan base that was embracing him. Not. He didn't have high expectations. They say whatever we get from Severino, it is what it is. And look, it turned out to be a hell of a contract with the Athletics. Kudos to Sevy going out there. I think he had a lot of expectations with the Yankees that he himself put too much pressure. They didn't live up to whatever the case was. But good for him to reinvent it and get that contract he got for Severino. Sometimes the change of scenery helps players just refocus, retool, and move forward. And kudos to him. Sometimes there's also that other side of the coin. You don't know what you got until you lose it. It could go either way for the franchise or the player, a la Juan Soto.
Yeah, I mean, look, look. I respect him. He took the money. I don't blame him for that. But to say
I
the
don't
stuff
blame him.
yeah, to say the stuff that you said doesn't make sense. Second of all,
Yeah.
I'll say this, and I'm not trying to diss the Mets. Our team is better than the Mets team. I'm sorry, I'm not dissing. Look, the pitching staff is better. The bullpen is better. He took the money, and I can't get mad about that. And I can't get mad about Howe because Howe was going up there. What's crazy is people keep forgetting this. Scott Boras didn't even go back to the Yankees to match the deal. They
Correct.
just took the Mets deal.
Correct.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm not mad. I can't be mad about this.
No, I'm not mad for him not taking that money because we haven't spoken about it on camera. So that's why are they talking about this? Let it go. No, we and Chris have not shared this on a platform, a live stream. I don't even mean we even spoke about it backstage on a wrestling podcast at all because we do wrestling podcasts together. So we haven't spoken about it. It's the first time we're going to open up the vote and speak about it. And I don't blame Juan Soto to taking that money because even with that 75, I believe it was $75 million signing bonus somewhere around the line, it kind of makes
Yeah.
his AVA like $55 million a year. Where the Yankees, that's a lot of money, and I don't blame for the Yankees not going that high. But Boris never went back for the Yankees. This is the final offer. Do you want to match it or not? They never gave the Yankees the opportunity to say no. They just assumed and took it. But what bothers me is all the extracurricular nonsense. And like Otto's saying, I want to go to a team that's going to build a dynasty. And I wanted to say this, and I'm going to say it with all tongue in cheek. And if you have little kids, cover their ears. We haven't fucking lost and been under 500 since 1993. How many seasons have the Mets been under 500 since then? And how many back-to-back postseasons? And again, I like the Mets. I'm not shitting on the Mets. I like the Mets. I did a video. I was happy for them when they went to the National League Championship Series. I celebrated them. But again, don't give me that nonsense that they're the team that's building a dynasty. No, they're a team that's building money, that's building multi-million-dollar men. Don't bullshit a bullshitter.
And I'm gonna also say this too, because this is in the picture. When the last time the Mets was in the World Series? Because I remember when the Yankees were in the World Series. Oh yeah, it was last year. That's all I'm saying.
We can't go there because they went in 2015. They went in 2015. We didn't go in back. They haven't gone there since 2009.
But what we did,
and we both had the same result. Like, oh, well, not really. Well, we went last year and we had the same result.
but I'm just
all
saying,
right. Case in point.
Yeah, more recent. We won. Like you said, we are a winning franchise. I know people don't like this. We have the most championships. I'm sorry to tell y'all that. I'm not gonna say, oh, the 27. 90s to now, we won. We haven't had a losing season like Kev said. We just got to the World Series last year. We built on that. So, did the Mets go to the World Series last year? No. So to say, oh, I wanna win. Guess what? That's fine. You can go with the Mets. I'm telling you right now. Lindor, I love Lindor. He ain't Aaron Judge. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, and I told you this before, and I've told you this, and I'm not even talking about World Series championship. I even said let's even dumb it down. Over 500 finishes. How many more since 1993? Count the numbers of time the Yankees have been over 500, and then how many times the Mets. That's it. That's all. Case in point. That's the argument I'm going to give you. Oh, well, that was the Wilpons. But still, it's still Mets. It's still the Jersey. It's the Mets. It's still the New York Mets. You're building. Oh, I got something for the I feel the Mets are going to play a more of a dynasty. If they didn't do it with Doc Darrow, and they didn't do it back then, and they didn't do it with Piazza and company. It's just that argument. I mean, that was a cheap excuse. Just say I took the more money. I need to think about my family, my future, and I took every bit of dollar because I worked my ass off, and I wanted to take every bit of dollar. I think I would have respect that. I would have respect that more than a security guard treated my family wrong.
And I want to bring this up too, because Kev did bring this up a couple of times. I'm telling you right now, they turned on Javi Baez, they turned on Evan Diaz, until Evan Diaz with the trombone. Before that, they turned on him. They turned on Lindor until Lindor started becoming back to his normal self. I'm telling you right now, you think our fans are bad when it comes to players?
Those guys.
When it comes to players, the Mets fans do not treat them well. Kev brought this up before. Hold up. Delgado. I remember Delgado. They was treating Delgado bad. Reyes, Jose Reyes. Like, I'm seeing what the Mets do to when it comes to players like that. So I'm telling you right now, Juan Soto, the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Nope. And the one thing that gives me a little bit of courage that at least Cohen's wife is Puerto Rican, Hispanic, but that fan base, they hate Hispanic players when they don't play well. And I've said it many times again, call me whatever, call me prejudice, call me whatever, I don't give a shit. But it's the truth. I could give you Bobby Bonilla, they couldn't stand Bobby Bonilla. Rafael Santana, they got rid of him to the Yankees for a bag of balls, who was a good defensive shortstop for the Mets. I understand Carlos Vallega. They couldn't stand him because he had a little bit of a transition. Roberto Alomar they couldn't stand him. They didn't make Sandy Alomar Jr. a manager because they didn't want him. Oh no, and he was supposed to be a Met manager. They got there's so many names there that it's Armando Benitez. I understand he imploded, but my God, that man was toxicity. They couldn't stand him. Omar Minaya, they couldn't wait for him to be a general manager because we got to get him fired. I mean, come on. There's so much proof. Look into that. Look into the way the Met fans and the Met they turn on the Latino players and executives. Juan Soto, that's their future. But that's what I'm not saying the Yankees are peaches and cream either.
No.
But the Mets have a lot of history of getting very toxic. They chose David Wright over Reyes. And Reyes, to me, David Wright is the most, and this is a hot take, the most overrated fucking Met of all time.
And
Personally, and they talk about Don Mattingly. They talk about Don Mattingly being that. To me, I take Don Mattingly 20 times over David Wright's career.
Yeah, and I wanted to say this too because I remember David Wright he got hurt toward the end, and like they still was cheering for him. But I remember a player that was also Spanish that was playing good for y'all, but then he got hurt. He played it. I think it was in left field. If I'm right, Separatist. I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
No, Yoenis Cespedes. They couldn't stand him either because he had one little bit of an issue. Meanwhile, the guy put him into the World Series. He took him in 2015 and put him over the top in a trade that they didn't even want him to begin with. They fell into Cespedes, and then they put him over the top and got him there. And they couldn't stand him.
Because I remember when he played for Boston, he killed us.
Because it was because the kid that's crying at third base, and they didn't make the trade, and they kept him, and they ended up going with Cespedes because the trade fell through for Gomez. Where they were trying to get Gomez, another player that wasn't going to work out. I mean, come on, Carlos Gomez. Come on, the Mets act like they have amnesia, but we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that we're hurt that Soto left us for the Mets. No, good for him. Again, great that he took the money. Take all the money. That's great. That's what they want. That's what the baseball players do. That I've got my wife's got a little nephew who's about to get signed, hopefully by the major league team. Make all the fucking money you can because we know what I've seen the struggles that our family and his family has gone through, and if they can make millions of dollars and go to college, make all the money possible. Again, I'm not disparaging making money, but don't kick or make up shit when you're out the door from the Yankee organization that they treated you wrong or they're better and so forth, because then we're gonna come back at you with this facts. If you want to make up stuff, we'll throw you some facts that's going out there from the way the Mets treat their ball players, their Latin ball players throughout the course of the years, and for many years. Just took a look at it.
And I'm not trying, like I said, I'm not hating or nothing like that. I'm not gonna lie. Kyle Tucker's gonna be cheaper. So Kyle Tucker's not gonna be worth $800 million. So
but he's not Juan Soto. But here's the one thing.
I know.
He's not Juan Soto's generational. I know. He's generational who could change the whole course of a lineup. Tucker has to prove it on the field. And again, I'm with you on that, Chris. Tucker's going to be cheaper. And if you could get players to where you're going to upgrade and get multiple players, because the move still makes better sense for the Yankees. The Plan B pivot for the New York Yankees makes better sense than the Plan A. I understand you're going to have, Judge and Soto in the lineup together. I get it. But then it's just going to be so much pressure on those two, which they can handle it. But damn, you really want to put pressure on them again?
And like everybody was poo-pooing Plan B, but I gotta give Cashman credit.
No one saw this Plan B.
Fried. No, like Max Fried, yeah, we saw that. But the Devin Williams trade, we didn't see that. I'm sorry. Paul Goldschmidt was better than
I don't even think. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Chris, sorry to interrupt. I don't even think anyone saw the Plan B that was thrown out there. No one even saw this Plan B. With Max Fried, Williams. No. They had Tanner Scott. I remember Plan B was Tanner Scott. They were the usual Corbin Burns. And look, they ended up getting. But I always told you, Chris, about get players that fit your ball plug. I always told you about the lefty. That's why I was big on Manaea. With the left-handed pitching for Yankee Stadium over Corbin Burns. Yeah, Corbin Burns going, but now Corbin Gurman's going to get paid. Could there be a decline? Maybe, maybe not. Good job for Arizona for picking him up. Look at that bullpen. Look at that arms that they have in Arizona with Zach Gowen, Corbin Burns, Jared Montgomery, and company. That's the Arizona Cardinals, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Stay strong.
Well, I want to say this too, Kev. If nobody's like really talking about this, we're the only team
But
that
we
actually
are
improved. We're the
in
only
the
team that
American
improved
League.
in our division. In our division,
In
Orioles got worse.
the whole
Yeah,
American League.
Orioles got worse because you lost your ace. Like now you don't
Yeah.
have no ace. I'm sorry to say that. Blue Jays are dysfunctional. They don't know if they want to pay Soto, Altani, or Vlad. And then everybody else, the
Vlad,
Boston, I don't know.
Vlad,
I don't know.
Vlad don't want to stay there.
No,
Vlad,
no.
excuse me, Vladimir Guerrero doesn't want to stay there. Boston, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. Boston did some moves under the radar to me.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that was very, very to me. It seemed pretty good. They're under the radar. They're quiet. They're going to be sneaky. The Boston Red Sox did some moves, and of course, being a Yankee fan, we can't stand the Red Sox. But I'm going to give you guys credit, and I'm going to give credit as credit due. I try to be fair. I could talk a lot of nonsense, get a little angry, rant, but I want to be honest with you. I'm going to give credit where credit. I like what the Red Sox kind of did under the radar, though. I'm going to be totally honest.
And I don't think the Rays did anything to really. I mean, yeah, they're gonna be the
No, they
Rays.
got worse.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's it is what it is. Now I do like the Walker move from for Houston. I do like that move. I can't even get mad about that move. That was a good move for them. But it's like, so are y'all gonna resign Verlander? Like who? Like y'all need pitching. So
They've got a farm system though. We've got to get one of these days. We didn't get him here on today because we got to get Heel on. Heel is a Houston Astro fan, so forth. I wanted to keep me and Chris today because I really like to talk to Chris back and forth. I wanted us to get enough time to conversate. But we'll get Heel on. Heel, no offense, we're gonna bring you on today. I wanted to be one on one with Chris, just to have that conversation back and forth with no interruptions, or we don't forget a thought or a point. So for Hill, we're gonna bring you on to talk baseball with us, these roundtables, because you are a Houston, Texas Ranger fan that will give us some your thoughts on your team. We want to hear that, and we also want to hear from other folks who follow other teams. We want to start doing some Yankee or baseball. It doesn't have to be Yankees. Some baseball roundtables, but we want to have at least two more people. And I don't want to convolute it with 6 or 7 because I want to have where we could have a conversation flowing and not wait when we have a point or we don't fall off topic. So that's why we kept it the roundtable for 2 because I wanted to have that back and forth intimate conversation with Chris about the New York Yankees, and then we're going to start expanding maybe the 4 top when it comes to baseball. Of course, we ask you to participate. Give us your feedback. Give us your thoughts. Hey, we're not everyone's cup of coffee, or I'm not everyone's cup of coffee, but I'm somebody's cup of coffee. I might be. Some people might want to caffeinate it or decaffeinate it. It is what it is. But this is the Sports Jedi Network. This is our cup of coffee, our brewing type of coffee that we want to give you. So yeah, have at it, or your course of tequila, or your course of you want it straight, or you want it with some mixers. We'll give it to you here on the Sports Jedi Network and Chris the Flash. By the way, before we wrap up, we got about another 10 minutes. I want to give a shout out to Chris doing some phenomenal work. Please check out his channel, Chris the Sports Flash. He has every evening. He'll talk about the situation that's happening with everyday life. Just simple conversation. Um, Go out there. If you're up, if you're a night owl, if you're late, and they see his live stream, go out there and just conversate. Hit the like. Ask questions. A simple question of his, bro, how was your day? I think for him and for us, goes a long way. Just as simple. And I'm gonna lead for example as well. I go in, I listen, I hit the like, but I don't ask them any questions. I listen to the subject, and then I go to sleep because I got to get up early. But the support is there. I ask you guys that listen to us, please support. Go out there, support, help us grow. Because the more you just hit a simple like, it's free. All it is moving the mouse over and hitting it. So like same way for this video, the same with Chris. If you feel daring enough in 2025, subscribe to his channel, subscribe to our channel. It's, you know what? Be a daredevil and hit the subscribe button. I'd say that, Chris. So I had to give you your flowers. You're doing good work there with your content night in, night out.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Kev. Like every once in a while, like I tell people in the chat on my channel, like I got brought up by Kev. I gotta give my flowers to Uncle Tats and them. Pete, like some of the people that actually mentioned my channel, and like now it's like I'm starting to move up, y'all. Like I'm almost at 650. I'm doing like a giveaway on my channel once I get to that goal. I do talk about sports. I do talk about sports, y'all. If y'all want to talk about sports, that's fine. But when I do live streaming, like Kev said, I talk about day-to-day stuff. So everything's on limits. Just be respectful to each other. That's all I ask.
That's it, plain and simple. It's a place to vet. Look, there's a lot of places that everyone wants to talk about sports and talk about the minutia of pitching the way we did and grand all. But here's the chance to just have an everyday conversation. And he wants to have an everyday conversation with everyone. So go ahead, give an everyday conversation to Chris. It's so simple. Maybe people, maybe it could be a internet type of therapy session, and it's not even supposed to be therapy. It's just getting it off your chest, having that conversation with others, and you're not alone going to the same struggles, even because it may look peaches and cream because we're online and hit the like button. We all go through the same issues in different ways, but that's what makes us all a community, and we ask you to be a community with us. I think that's one of the mission statement for Chris's program. I'm talking for you, Chris. Forgive me if I'm stepping on a line with that. But from
No,
the
no,
interpretations that I hear from you, that's how I feel. That's how I feel that I get from your vibe, from your channel.
yeah, like I said, it's nothing like. Well, I'm gonna tell Kevin off stream what's like going on with the certain stuff, but yeah, my channel, like I said, it's nothing but positivity. I don't do all that fake stuff. I don't do all that drama. Talk about people. Now they do have some people in that atmosphere that wants to do all that stuff, but I don't promote that. So like I said, just keep it respectful on my channel. That's it. Just like Kev's channel, be respectful. You can have your take, just be respectful.
And we could joke around here. We could throw the jinx, the hijinks, but again, let's be respectful. So, Chris, we'll find out here. This is probably the first of many baseball because it's hot stove. Once we find out news about Roki Sasaki, where's he going, we'll probably come back on and have a conversation, a roundtable. We'll probably bring in Heel. We'll find out what we're going on. We're gonna say goodnight here because I want you guys at 7:30. If you're a wrestling fan, tune into this same channel. We're gonna have Monday Night Raw on Netflix. We're gonna be a special half-hour start because we're going to break in the card. We're going to get ready. We're going to have the Heal the Ring crew joining us. Chris is part of it. We're going to have the Canary. We're going to have the Chef. We're going to have the Terrence. We're going to have Gemma. We're going to have so many different people. But whoever shows up, we'll do the Heal the Ring. We're going to do wrestling. It's a watch along. We give our reactions, our thoughts, WWE, and all that stuff. And don't forget also in our playback channel, we have now the playback. You can watch the game on stream. Like right now, the way we're talking, you'll be able to see the NBA basketball game. New York Knicks basketball will be live tonight. If you're having issues in the New York area with cable vision where you can't see New York Knicks, come to our playback channel. Just let me know. Hit the link. It's Playback TV, Sports Jedi Network channel. You just gotta write in the chat that you're here. I'll give you a pass, and you get to watch the game. No cost, no money, nothing. All you gotta do is show up to the chat, write in the emoji, and you got a pass. Hopefully, in 2025, the MLB season will be on the playback where we're going to see the Yankee game live while it's happening, while we do the call and the playback and the watch along. If that goes there, we're back at the Yankee watch along full time again. Or if not, we'll do special occasion. We don't know the schedule of the Sports Jedi Network because great and big things are happening behind the scenes that, again, with time will reveal itself. And of course, if we do the playback and they do MLB, by the way, we also got the Heel of the Ring playback TV. Now we got our own. We're gonna start streaming Netflix live on Monday Night Raw. Not this one. In the near future, you're gonna be seeing Monday Night Raw live on the playback. So if you don't have the $8.99 for Netflix, you come to the playback channel, you get to see it with us. So that's in the near future. I can let that cat out of the bag. But with that said, hit the like button to Chris the Flash. Follow us on the Playback TV as well as YouTube, X, on Blue Sky as well. All Sports Jedi Network handles. And we'll see you soon. Chris, say your final goodbyes, and I'll hit the outro.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, Kev. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat. I appreciate what's been going on with my life now. I'm very grateful. Thank y'all so much for the support. Y'all gotta keep supporting Kev. Man, look, I'm not gonna lie. Be honest with you, I've been pushing Kev to do Yankee stuff, y'all, because it wasn't looking too good for the Yankee content. But I'm happy he's doing this again, and like in the near future, like you said, hopefully he could do the playback for the Yankee games, and we can keep this ride going.
Indeed, and there you have it right there. Sports Jedi Network Playback TV. Just the membership is free. All you gotta do is subscribe to it. You get the notifications wherever you go on. You could even get on your phone as an app, and you get to see the games there. So you get to see the game. Not only just see us, you get to see the game there. That's the big one. YouTube don't let you see the live streaming or the live game behind us, but this does. So with that said, guys, appreciate you guys. May the sports be with you. May the Yankees be with you. We'll see you later for Netflix. So long. Peace out. We'll talk